Hello everyone, it's DD here and welcome to another LEGO Top 10 video. Today we're taking a look at my top 10 Purist customs I've made so far. So not of any year, not of this year or whatever, of ever. Whether it was... So I tried to keep them in the Purist custom category and not any minifigures in like my Maximum Carnage series, my Suppress 6 series. But I did look at those and I determined that I didn't think any of them were top 10 worthy. So I went through my Purist customs and I figured out that these 10, which some of you may have seen before, were my favorites. And I'm actually going to have all 10 of these linked in the description if you want to watch the original video and how to build the characters, because I'm just going to show them off and talk about them a little bit, but not like parts wise, because the catalog of where each part comes from is definitely better with the older video because it was more recent and I had like the fresh catalog of parts in my head. Right now I can't really remember everything for every figure, but without any further ado, let's showcase these figures. All right, starting off at number 10, we have the Iron Spider Comic Accurate, or I can't remember exactly what I titled the video. Iron Spider Comic or something like that. I don't know. But for some reason, Comic Iron Spider only has 3 arms, okay? Yes, this is very blocky and chunky because I recreated all of these figures exactly how they were when I first filmed them. I will say I got lucky when choosing my top 10 and didn't have any figures that use duplicate parts. Otherwise, then it would have been a very different kind of video. But I figured, hey, why not rebuild these figures and actually revisit them in hand? So, Comic Iron Spider is pretty dope in my opinion. I mean, it's got that nice, just red and gold, and all the gold's got the black outline, so it all lines up. And then you have the 3 arms, which I think are built pretty well. The only thing that would be the cherry on top is if these pieces existed in gold, and if they do, somebody please let me know. I will go buy them. And then if this piece existed in gold, which I think is from Ninjago, but I could be fine without that being in gold because from the front you can barely see it. But no, this is one I'm really proud of because of the arm design mostly. But I figured I wanted it to be on this list, but then I looked at everything else and was like, all right, it's got to go in the number 10 spot. Something's got to go in the number 10 spot. But hey, number 10 out of like almost 250 Purist customs I've made is still pretty freaking good. And number 9, we have a very blurry Ghost Rider 2099 because my exposure fucking hates me. Okay, Ghost Rider 2099, but this is how to build. This was a better Ghost Rider 2099. And whenever I use the term better or the best, it usually means I've made the figure in the past and have now upgraded it. And I've only used the best, I think, once or twice, and it was with Lizard because I finally, it went from him having pink pants to purple pants to purple torn pants with a lab coat. And I was like, all right, this is perfect. This guy, originally, the little skin part there was covered up with Sharpie because his torso is from Blackbeard. But then I was like, well, let's not ruin this good torso. And plus, I'm able to ignore it. I don't know why, but I'm losing the train of thought. Oh, and he had a different pair of legs each time. But the chainsaw, has remained the same, and I'm so proud of that trans neon orange thing. And the Robbie Reyes head works really well. For, and especially since it's silver. If it was white, it would be different. But since it's silver, it works well for a Ghost Rider 2099 custom because it's kind of like a Ghost Rider Terminator. And then to give it extra arm detail, you just pull arms from like Winter Soldier and Aquaman and stuff. But yeah, no. If you want to learn the full parts list, just go watch the original video. But yeah, no. Ghost Rider 2099, everybody. Number 8 is Gambit. So Gambit was a character I wanted to make for a hot frickin' minute. And it took me a while to actually perfect the design. But I managed to come up with this. So what I did was instead of having the pink and silver type pattern on the torso, I opted for the brown trench coat and I gave him a cape to kind of give it extra detail. And then I put the pink on the boots because that was the best I got. But you can there are dual molded black and silver legs if you want his boots, but then you're not going to have any pink. And then I gave him his little staff here. I gave him this hairpiece. It is the same color as the brown, which kind of threw me off in the original video and still kind of throws me off. The head works perfectly. I think it's from like a scout trooper. And then I did actually make a little weapon accessory for him. So if you take the card, I don't know if you guys remember this thing right here, but then you put the card on here, and you push it all the way back, put that in his hand, and boom, it looks like he is throwing the card. If you turn it a little bit, then you can like actually see the card. But it looks like he's throwing the card, which I think is pretty dope. So yeah, no. And I put him above the other two because it's Gambit and he's my favorite X-Men. And I think I pretty much nailed it for at least out of the existing Lego parts, or until Lego makes their own. Number 7 is Angel Rider. So this is the second Ghost Rider on the list, and if you saw in the beginning of the video, you notice there's 3. So for starters, he's got this blue chain, which I got from Whiplash, and I actually lost the other one, which is really sad, but it's nice to finally have like a translucent blue chain. So I'm going to take that off so that we can actually like look at the figure itself. So this exact custom, down to every single part, was built by someone else on Instagram. In the original video, I credit the original creator. It's an older post of theirs from like a couple years ago, and that's why I decided to go ahead and use it. I found it a while ago, and I never got around to ordering the parts. But then by the time I got around to it, I already had the flyer, the head, the legs, the arms. It's hard to tell, but like the arms have all those like silver dots to represent spikes and stuff, and got zippers. And I do remember the most expensive thing about this figure was the torso and the head. And I like to use this vampire sparkly hair from the Lego Movie 2 as blue fire because it's the closest thing we have at the moment, unless Lego finally decides to stop putting those flame pieces on their Ghost Rider figures with glue. But hey, it looks good, and I'm assuming if they didn't, it would wiggle around a lot. But Angel Rider is on here above almost all the other Ghost Rider customs I've made because he's got the blue fire. I like the blue fire more naturally. Also, it's kind of just the opposite color. Like Ghost Rider's skull is usually white. This one's skull is black just because it makes it look so much cooler. Number 6 is Cosmic SpiderMan. So this figure is one that I'm really proud of, and that's why he's a little bit higher on the list. He may not have it nearly as much detail as the rest below him, but it's Cosmic Spider-Man. I've seen so many people make customs of this, and they use, like, oh my god, what's the torso everybody uses? Everybody uses a very specific torso. It's like a clone torso where it's half white and half blue. But Cosmic Spider-Man is made up of stars and galaxies. Yeah, in the comics they make him blue and white, but then there's some pictures where he's made up of stars and has just the Spider-Man mask poking out. So what I did was I used the electric Batman torso from that one Lego encyclopedia, and then I gave him a neck bracket to cover up the Bat logo, and then he's got all his cool little markings on his chest. I gave him navy blue hands to represent the bluish kind of, and he's got yellow powers. That's a half ninja mask from Ninjago. That is the Anya Corazon Spider-Girl head with the mouth erased for my Symbiote Spider-Man custom, which actually just hit 10,000 views, by the way, so thank you so much for that, you guys. And even if it wasn't on there, I think the mask would cover up the mouth entirely, and if not, then I don't know, but I do plan on ordering another one of those heads at some point because I do want one. But yeah, no, Cosmic Spider-Man, and he's causing me a lot of exposure issues because, he's just that powerful. He's one of the most powerful Spider-Man that he can't even let the camera, he won't even let the camera focus on him. He won't even let me speak. All right, now let's get into the top 5. At number 5, we have an upgraded Moonight in his armored suit. I call it the armored suit because it looks like armor. This is mainly from the, oh my god, it's not the Lemire run, but it is in the Lemire run of Moonight. And man, the exposure is killing me because it's white on white. All right, I guess I'm gonna have to do it like this. But the suit's from a different run that I've read, but I read it on Amazon, so I don't have the physical copy. But, so as you may notice, you'll recognize the legs and arms from the Skeleton Boy from the like monster-themed CMF series. Well, I erased a lot of the printing, and I talk about it more in the original videos, so go watch that. There's actually 2 videos, but I'm going to link the upgraded one. because I'm going to show off his weapons in this video. So in the first video I made, I used the regular Lego hood piece that was used for a long time, like on Darth Maul or the Emperor. And then they made Moonight. So I gave him the Moonight hood. So he has the point, he has the crown coming down, and the wide hood. So everything from the first figure is the same, except the hood. And in the second video, I did not show his accessories. So in his first video, the accessories were 2 of these, which were the crescent darts, his staff, which is a white lightsaber piece, no idea where it's from, and then 2 little 1x3 poles, and then his grappling hook, which is just this little build, and then one of these in silver, but you could use light gray if you wanted. And then I had a long white string I attached to it, but we're going to ignore that because it's not really for the action here. And then if you wanted to show what that looked like, then there's the grappling hook, and then he could, shoot that out. But I believe what I did was I put the string here and then attach the string to the end of that, and it was pretty simple, but I think the staff is better. And this is my favorite Moon Knight outfit, and that's why it's at at number 5. Plus, I also haven't made very many Moon Knight customs, and I just think this looks so spot on. Yeah, he doesn't have the moon on his chest, but he has those orca fins, which just look like moons, but on laying flat, and it looks good, and it looks way better with the Moon Knight hood. So yeah, Armored Moon Knight, or How to Build a Better Armored Moon Knight, is at number 5. At number 4, we have Ultron Infinity, or Infinity Ultron, whatever you want to call him. So this is one of the more bulkier figures on this list, and honestly one of the most bulkiest figures I've ever made. But he's also really shiny. So this is obviously based off What If Season 1, Episode 9, and Episode 8. And I was really excited for this rumored episode, and then when he showed up, I was like, oh my god! So, to me, this figure was higher. And then I took it down a couple spots because of the Infinity Stones piece, which is from the Thanos brickhead. This is the closest I've seen anybody get to getting the Infinity Stones on his chest, and I think it's pretty genius, but it would be perfect if it was printed on a silver tile and not a gold tile. So because of that, I dragged it down a little bit, and then obviously it's not an Ultron helmet because the Ultron helmets cover up like the entire Vision face. So, and now Vision has the Mind Stone in his head in the show, but I decided to try and cover it up here so that it appears right here and it just kind of blends in with it better. So if these were printed on a silver tile, it would definitely be number 3 or number 2. But for now, it's this. But this is one of my favorites. So if you want to learn how to build this, go check out the original video. At number 3, we have Lord Starkiller. So like I said, Ultron Infinity was originally in this spot, but I dialed him down because of the Infinity Stones being on a gold tile and not silver. Man, the exposure just hates me these days. I swear, I'm telling y'all, the exposure just hates me, period. Like, maybe I shouldn't have a white background anymore. Maybe I should just have a flesh-toned hand just here the entire fucking time. Okay, anyways, so I gave it some long thought, and I was like, this character means infinitely more to me than Infinity Ultron. Because I grew up playing Star Wars The Force Unleashed. This was my favorite outfit in the game. And also, Starkiller is my favorite Star Wars character of all time. So it just fits more with my likings. And I originally was going to use the helmet from Iraq, and then I saw the Knights of Ren and went, oh my god, this is even better. Now, it is just a plain black head so that, it doesn't poke with eyes through in the visor, but, like, this is just perfect to me, and it's probably the closest we're ever going to get unless LEGO decides to make a LEGO Starkiller or Lord Starkiller. There is a LEGO Starkiller figure, but his name is Galen Merrick. Which I do own, and I made an upgraded version of that as well. But this one is the Lord Starkiller outfit, which is his Sith armor. So if you want to learn how to build this, go check out that original video. But yeah, this is number 3, everybody. At number 2, we have Cosmic Ghost Rider. This was my number 1 for a long time because it took me like 2 or 3 years to perfect it. I made him before as a part of my Ghost Rider marathon, which was where I made my top 5 Ghost Riders and their vehicles. And I believe it went Johnny Blaze, Cosmic Ghost Rider, oh god, Danny Ketch, Ghost Rider 2099, Robbie Ray. No, it was Johnny, Cosmic, 2099, Robbie, Danny. That list has now since been changed ever since I learned that Danny Ketch was the Ghost Rider that started the whole leather jacket with spikes and a chain type thing. So Danny Ketch is definitely higher, but my list now would probably be Johnny, Danny, Cosmic, Robbie, 2099. So 2099, I guess I forgot to mention earlier, is underrated as hell, and there was only one full-on comic series, and then there's one issue of a new one that got canceled. This one, however, has its own full fucking story and side stories, and it's not even Johnny or anybody. It's Frank Castle. It's Punisher as Ghost Rider. Do you know how badass that is? So if you want to see the original version of this, plus the motorcycle I made, which, ooh, I should rebuild that motorcycle and put this figure on it and see what that looks like. I bet that'd be awesome. Hey, maybe I'll rebuild the motorcycle. Who knows? But I will say I'm extremely proud of how I did the blue wheel in the front. But go check out my Ghost Rider Marathon playlist for that. But if you want to see how I built this original figure, go watch the original video. You may have noticed there's a second face on there, and that's because this is the original Taskmaster head, which actually the printing is starting to fade off of him since he's been in my bag full of figures. Like, his mouth is scratched there. Maybe I should buy another one. Or honestly, oh, and there goes Baby Thanos. For those of you that have read the comic series, you'll recognize that was Baby Thanos. Honestly, though, I might order another one, and my original plan was to erase the printing off this one. So maybe what I'll do is erase the printing off the back of this one in case I want to use this again, because Cosmic Ghost Rider usually is smirking. And then, you know, this flame piece is something I've wanted for a while, and then I realized it was the perfect piece for that flaming dome that goes over his head. And I've seen a lot of people, I know I'm talking about this figure a lot, but I've seen a lot of people use the War Machine Bricktober pack armor for this. I went with Iron Skull because it has the skull that looks like Punisher on it, but there is a stunt cycle torso with a giant blue skull on it, so maybe I'll get my hands on that and see what that looks like. But for now, if you want to learn how to build this in its entirety, go watch the original video. But now, let's get on to number one. And for number one, as you probably already guessed, it is Doomslayer. Now, for those of you that watched the Doomslayer video, or I should say videos by now, and you know what's really crazy is I actually swear to God I filmed this clip for this video already, like the number one figure. But when I looked in the gallery, when I went to edit it, it wasn't there. So this is my second time doing this. So as of the second time of filming this, there are two Doomslayer videos. There's one that's like about 8 minutes long, which is the main version, but it's actually the second version that I made. And then there's the extended version, which was the original video, which is close to 25 minutes. I go into further detail in that one. I talk about a little bit more about the creator, the different designs I came up with, and the cost of each part. So if you want to learn more about this figure, go there. So I'll link both those videos in the description. But it seems like as of filming this, both videos are getting decent support, plus the support on the video I post on TikTok just hit over 10,000 views, so thank you guys for that. But yeah, so my number one figure is Doomslayer, mainly because of how much detail I put into it, and he's my favorite video game character. He's definitely been an inspiration to me. I can't really describe how, but he just is. He's a genuine badass. I feel like that's part of it. I nailed the super shotgun design, I nailed the knife design, and I just improved off of G-Man Brick's design, which again, he's linked in the description for this figure specifically. But yeah, so that is it for my top 10 minifigures. So why don't we go ahead and wrap this video up? And that is it for my top 10 Purist customs I've ever made. What do you guys think? Do you guys have a top 10 list of the customs that I've made before? Or like, what is your favorite custom I've ever made? I'd love to know, because I don't get comments very much anymore, and I miss reading them from you guys, whether it's some stupid comment saying first or whatever. Like, I like reading comments, but I don't get them anymore. So please tell me, what is your favorite custom that I have made that maybe I can improve upon in the future or revisit or something, you know? But yeah, no, if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment down below, hit the subscribe button, turn notifications every time I post a new video. I definitely didn't say that right, but who cares? Follow my Twitch every stream every Saturday. Peace out, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.